Hey everyone, I'm Joe Ferzoco.
I'm Chris Ferzoco. Today we're talking market statistics and we're going to look at August of 2024 versus July. And Joe, in this video, we're actually going to cover the overall sales values of properties. We're going to look at how many properties sold for the month. We're actually how many properties came on the market.
Okay.
And then we're also going to look at the overall sales price versus the list price of the properties as well in the areas that we cover.
Well,
what are those areas?
And what are those areas? Well, here at the Jersey Shore, not that Jersey Shore, it's Ventnor, Margate, Longport, Ocean City, Summers Point, Strathmere. Always kind of seem to forget about Strathmere. Sea Isle City, and then we do Stone Harbor, Avalon, North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest, West Wildwood, North Cape May, Lower Township, Cape May Courthouse, and Upper Township. I think I nailed all of them for you there. Hey, if this is your first time on the channel and you like what you see, please subscribe below, tap that bell for instant notifications, and please hit that like button and you'll be the first to get the most up-to-date market information and, of course, happenings down here at the Jersey Shore. And, whether you're looking to buy or sell, Chris, this week, next month, 6 months from now, a year from now, please reach out. Give us a call, shoot us a text. You can give us a call, 609-834-3853, 609-834-3853. Send us an email, shoot us a text, and it'll be our pleasure to help you with all of your real estate needs, whether you are looking to buy or sell down here at the shore. So, Chris, why don't you get us kicked off here with these market stats?
Absolutely.
Get us rolling.
Yeah, I'm going to start right in Ocean City, as I always do, Joe. And we look at the overall value of properties here, and it did actually drop. It actually went up significantly there. So a nice jump rolling out of summer, jumped up 24%. The average sale price right now for all property, folks. So again, before I get going any further with the numbers, we're going to look at all properties. It could be land, it could be commercial, multifamilies, efficiencies all the way to beachfront, single-family homes, condos, etc. So when you look at the overall value in Ocean City, it's now up to 1.3 million, up from $1.05 million. So a nice 24% jump there in Ocean City. Again, jumping out of the summer months there, diving right into August. So then we also look at now how many properties sold, meaning how many closed. We actually had the same amount of numbers virtually. We had 48 in August versus 47 in July, so staying very consistent. Most of those properties have all been under contract leading into this. So these are the properties that have now closed. They were under contract and closed, just to be clear.
Perfect.
When we look at the number of properties that came on the market, we actually had a huge jump. Talk about significant. We actually jumped 86%. Wow. 86% in Ocean City. We went from 74 to 138 in the month of August. So that was huge. A very significant jump there. What's interesting at the time of the video, Joe, we still only have about 311 total properties for sale in Ocean City. So it doesn't look like, oh, yeah, man, that means the number of homes are coming back. We're still right where we've always been. We just had a significant drop over the summer. We were just really in the 200s at that point. So we're sitting right now at about 311. But again, huge jump in the number of properties coming on the market, which is awesome for you buyers out there. And for the overall sales price versus list price was virtually the same at 96.5%. Was the number of both months. So staying very consistent there. As you always like to point out, though, those that got the sales in August did a little bit better since they were at 1.3 million, getting 96% versus $1 million. So let's see how Sea Isle did in comparison. So Sea Isle City, actually, they had a drop in the overall price. Actually, 19% drop. It went from $1.9 million to down to $1.5 million. So a little bit of a drop there. We'll watch that. A lot of times with Sea Isle, it's the, you got a significant amount of new construction sells versus not in given months. So,
sure thing.
But right now, it's holding right at about $1.5 million at this point. So the number of properties that closed, sold, is a slight bump up. We went from 8 in July up to 10. So again, staying consistent there. And then for the number of properties that came on the market was a 21% jump, went from 14 to 17, which, the overall numbers may not seem a lot. But however, in a town like Sea Isle City, 21% jump is actually pretty significant. It's good to see that number of homes coming on the market increasing.
Sure thing.
This is what's really interesting. The overall sales price to list price was over 101%. So although it had dropped in the overall sales price has dropped to overall values. It actually went up from 97%, went to over 101% in what they were getting at the end of the day as a seller.
All right. Perfect. Well, hey, those are some good numbers there. I'd like to see
pretty positive numbers.
The inventory there for Ocean City. I mean, pretty much for all intents, almost doubled, really, from the amount of properties that came on shy. So that's great there. Chris, we'll kick down the Parkway a little bit here, and let's get into the Wildwood. So let's start in North Wildwood. So your average sale price in North Wildwood for the month of August was actually down about 20. It was up 27%. 717,000 was your average sale price in North Wildwood for the month of August. When we look at the number of properties listed for sale, again, another jump there. We had 45 properties come on the market in North Wildwood, which is about a 37% increase from the month of July. Yep. And the number of properties sold, that actually dropped a little bit. Now, I'm going to give you a percentage. It's a 17% decrease in the number of properties that closed in August. Went from 23 to 19. So it was 4 property difference. But, 17% difference in that. Your average list price to sale price was just the same as the month of July, was 99%. List price to sale price, again, your average list price was about $722,000, and your average sale price was $717,000. So going into Wildwood, your average sale price did drop, went from $669,000 to $616,000, so about a $50,000 differential, which is about an 8% difference. As far as the number of properties that came on the market, that didn't change. We had 23, 24 come on the market in July. We had 26 come on in August. The number of properties that sold, same thing. We had 15 that sold in July. We had 12 or 13 that sold in the month of August. So not really much difference going on there in Wildwood from a standpoint of month to month to month. Your list price to sale price, again, 99% list price to sale price, $620,000 list price, $616,000 sale price. When we move into the Crest, we had a pretty good bump there in your average sale price. $874,000 was your average sale price for the month of August. And then when we get into the number of properties listed for sale and closed, we actually had a drop in our inventory. We only had 15 properties come on the market in all of the month of August in the Crest, and we actually had an increase of 47%, 17 properties sold in the month of August. So again, things that we kind of talked about here for the last 18, 19 months, we had more properties sell than came on the market. So, Ocean City, 138 properties come on the market, and in Wildwood Crest, we can't get more properties coming on that are actually selling. So again, looking to try to get some building blocks here. Your average list price to sale price was about 96%. So that was great news there. Still getting, tremendous value as far as what you're listing the property for and what the buyers are looking to pay there. And then we go into like Cape May. Your average sale price was up 6%, 1.197 was your average sale price for the month of August. That was up 6%. We go into the number of properties that came on the market. We had 14, which was about a 43% increase in the number of properties that came on. We only had 5 sell, and that was a drop of 29%. But again, kind of getting into those real numbers, we only had 7 sell in July. So, oh my God, 29%. Yeah, it was 2 different between the two. But kind of like what you were saying with Sea Isle, your average sale price in Cape May was 106%. List price to sale price.
Hello.
So yeah, hello. So you're looking at, not only did the average sale price go up 6%, but we talked about before, so your average list price to sale price was up 106%. So you have a 6% increase. You have 6% over your asking. So it was 1.197 in Cape May. And lastly, moving into Diamond Beach, Sea Point Village area, we had a 10% decrease in your average sale price, went down to $948,000 from $1,053,000. Number of properties that came on, again, these are like these big numbers. We had 60% increase in the amount of properties that came on the market because we had 2 come on in July and we had 5 come on in August. So just again, putting it into that realistic perspective of what actually is coming on whole numbers. And we had a 71% increase in the number of properties that sold in August in Sea Point Village and Diamond Beach. We went from 2 to 7. But again, really good with regards to your list price to sale price. I think that was 95%. We seem to see that that's a very positive number for all the towns we cover.
Yeah,
as far as,
sure.
You get that right price as a seller. And again, going back to talking to your real estate professionals like us here at the Ferzoco Group for your market, you find that right price, you're going to sell pretty quickly and almost within 98. Cape May, 106% of your sale price. So why don't you jump offshore a little bit for us there, Chris?
Yeah, Joe, so we're going to go into Upper Township. We actually had an increase there in the overall sales value or overall values of the homes at about 24%. So right now sitting at about $625,000 there in Upper Township, up from $503,000. When you look at how many properties actually sold, we actually did have an increase, and we went from 8 to 11. So again, using real numbers there, which is, I think you bring up a great point with those, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But real numbers, we went from 8 to 11 in Upper Township. We actually we had the exact same homes come on the market, 16 and 15 respectively. So virtually the same amount of properties came on month over month there, July and August. And you look at the overall sales price versus the list price, I actually had a decrease there. We went from 98.5% Joe down 3% to 95.5%. So although your overall sales values went up, overall values, your actual sales percentage went down. So we actually did see a little bit of a decrease there. One of the only spots where I actually saw that we had a decrease. Then moving over into Atlantic County, moving into Summers Point, we actually saw a minus for the first time in a while there in the overall values. It dropped from 544 down to 451,000 at a 17% decrease in the overall value. Now, for the number of properties that sold, however, we saw a pretty good jump there. Again, we went from 11 to 14.
Okay.
So again, 11 up to 14. That's a 27% jump. And so that was actually good to see that the numbers went up there, because the number of properties that actually came on the market, though, decreased by 17%. We had 23 come on in July. We had 19 only come on in August. So that's a bit of a decrease there.
Yeah.
Percentages sound obviously always a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And the overall sales price versus list price actually went up 1%, went from 94.5% up to 95.5% in Summers Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's there's still strong numbers. I think
no
it just
doubt.
always becomes. I mean, the one positive that you're still looking at it is, I mean, except for I think it was Wildwood Crest, like the only town we really have that we're covering that had more properties selling than what came on the market. You know, all the other ones still. So again, trying to just get, whether it's 3, 30, 60, just trying to get more coming on than more that are actually coming off and going under contract and selling. All right, so North Cape May, let's jump in there. So they had a 38% increase in their average sale price in the month of August. $574,000 was your average sale price in the month of August in North Cape May. As far as the number of properties came on, we had 19 come on compared to 13 in August. Number of properties that sold, we had 11 sell. Compared to 7, so that was a 36% increase. And of course, then your average list price to sale price was exactly the same, July versus August at 97%. Just as we talked about, you just started at 574, not 374. So that was a win-win for anyone there in North Cape May that sold in August. Lastly, Cape May Courthouse, your average sale price was down 14%, much like Summers Point, Chris. One of the few months here that we've seen a decrease in your average sale price. So Cape May Courthouse dropped 14%. Your average sale price was $466,000 for the month of August. As far as the inventory, that dropped 18%. We went from 29 coming on in July to 21 in August, and the number of properties that sold jumped up 33%. We went from 12 to 18, so very good there. And of course, your average list price to sale price was 96%. So really, in essence, I mean, you had a 14% decrease from August to July, and then in July it was 100% list price to sale price, and then in August it was 96. So kind of a, if you sold in August, you kind of took a little bit of a hit there in Courthouse when it came to your average price. And of course, sellers, what you're putting in your pocket there at the end of the day. So that kind of wraps up those towns and the stats there. Chris, what's this telling you? What are you maybe seeing here a little bit?
Well, I think it's still, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I think the numbers are just still consistent with what we've seen. They, from town over town, they bump up, they'll go down, they go up, they go down. They're staying right in the same area. I think when you look at the overall number of properties for sale in all of these towns, Seattle, there's only 44 or something like that. Ocean City, I mentioned earlier, there's 3 something. There's just, there's not a lot of inventory building in any of these towns. At the same time, although that inventory is not necessarily moving in a upward trajectory, what we're also not seeing, though, is, Joe, is we're not seeing home prices escalating like they were before. So it's, again, it's up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's kind of depending on what maybe a given new construction beachfront sells this month, but not next month, that value changes. So it's been consistent. This is where we are. I don't see it changing anytime soon. It's important, though, when you're watching our videos, as Joe pointed out earlier, I wanted to come back to this, that he's pointing out the real numbers, right? So the real numbers goes from 8 to 10, but the numbers sound significant when we're saying, 17%. You have to be careful. We use the real numbers and percentages to keep things in perspective. If you're out there and you're hearing people talking, 27%, 27%, 27%, you're like, oh no, the world's falling apart, or geez, the values are going crazy. But it's like, but it was 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like these crazy jumps necessarily. So be careful to what you're hearing. Make sure you're dissecting it, or make sure you're at least asking questions to professionals like ourselves here of what does it really mean?
Yeah.
For me as a seller, for me as a buyer, what does it really mean? And you'll be fine.
Yep.
It's a great time to be selling and buying. No question about it.
That. And if, in the time of this video, like we had last, on Friday, like it was the first time that we have seen a couple of programs that have come out interest rate wise below 6%.
Yeah.
So it's like, smokes, here we come. All right, we're rolling out of August. We're rolling into the last month of the third quarter, rolling into the fall market, our second busiest time of the year, and we've got rates now dropping below 6. Does that mean every program's below 6? No, but there are programs out there right now we're seeing, 5.99 on a 30-year fixed. FHA, that's, that was sitting at like 5.98%, something like that. So I'd be curious to see what happens, in the following Friday as far as what those rates start to look like. But again, positive. So if you're a buyer, you've got rates starting to come down, reach out to us, reach out to your agent. New inventory coming on for the fall, people that are done with the summer. And of course, sellers, it's been the same message. Inventory, low inventory, historic low inventory, historic low inventory. So it's never been a better time, as we always seem to say, to sell here at the Jersey Shore. So again, as I said before, if you're looking to list your property and you're looking for a free market analysis, whether it's this week, next month, 6 months from now, if you're looking to purchase a property, you want to get yourself involved with a real estate agent, boots on the ground, knowledgeable of the areas to which we cover here, please reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email, and we can certainly help you out with that sales process. So until next time, he's Chris, I'm Joe. We'll see you at the beach. Take care.